What's up, y'all? Now, I don't know why, but my room is always be looking fucked up or at least a mess. And trust me, it's not always like this. It's just the fact that it'll be early in the morning. I don't have time to be cleaning up to do these videos. I just want to get straight to the point. But I wanted to make this video to discuss Future and Ciara. Honestly, Future annoys the hell out of me. Outside of his music, I just wish that he would just shut the fuck up. As another Twitter follower said, it's really getting on my nerves. Future should just make good music without shaming Ciara, without attacking her, harassing her, virtually stalking her, trying to get into contact with a child that the mother doesn't even want the dad involved with. And I feel that Future is a nasty, spiteful motherfucker who will do anything to ruin Ciara's life. I firmly believe that Future is not a nice person. And like I said, I don't care if you think that he is the best looking guy in the world and you have a crush on his dreads. I don't care if you are a fan of his trap music. Honestly, I am a fan of Future. I am a fan of a lot of R&B and hip hop rappers who pretty much just they make good music, but I don't like their lifestyle. They are abusive, they disrespect women. I don't think Future is on the level of maybe Lil Wayne or R. Kelly, but it's to that point where I just want to stop hearing about Future bitching about Ciara, because you're starting to look very dangerous. You're starting to look like an abusive person who won't let go of his ex because she is moving on. Future, you cheated. You cheated and she moved the fuck on. She wasn't going to blame your little side chicks or whatever. She was just going to move on. But I feel like people want to defend Future just because he makes good music. Like I said, I'm a fan of Future, but when you're fucking up, you're fucking up. And I wish Future would grow up, because honestly, if I did not fuck with Future as much, I would probably go a little bit more in on him. But because I do low key fuck with him musically, I can't really be like, well, fuck you, Future, get the fuck out. But honestly, I have more of a problem with his stance. I have a problem with the Future high that he jacked from fucking Beyonce. They will do anything to defend Future. It's like Future can do no wrong. It's the fact that he is acting like he is this good father and he is not in any of his other children's lives. It's just because it's Ciara. Ciara is famous. She is doing well for herself. She is married, or is she married, or is she engaged or dating? I don't know, but at one time she was together with a professional football player who was a part of the NBA. This is someone who exceeds respectability politics, but because it's a black woman who is happy with this person, then it's a problem. Apparently, Ciara does not want Future in contact with their son unless he has to go through all these lawyers, because now this is what I've heard from others. Future is apparently addicted to drugs. I don't know how true that is, because just because someone talks about doing drugs in a song does not mean it's true. Like, how likely is it for Future to be sipping some codeine and feeding some strangers chicken wings? I don't know. I don't take these lyrics seriously if it's about drugs. Now, if you rapping about how you like light skinned bitches and you saying some colorist shit against dark skinned women, I believe that fucking shit, and I don't fuck with you. That's why I can't fuck with Lil Wayne, because I don't think Lil Wayne is a bad rapper. I think he has some hot songs. I can't act like I don't jam to his older music. I can't say that I don't like Every Girl, even though it has that famous I want a long hair, thick red bone line. But I don't fuck with Lil Wayne because he is a notorious colorist. There was a time where some dark skinned model went backstage to meet him. She was a fan of his, and Lil Wayne instantly said, "Wow, you're too pretty to be dark skinned." And she took to Twitter. She basically told the whole story. Or I don't think she took to Twitter. I think she did an interview. Her friend, who was much lighter than her, was offended as well. And then Lil Wayne took to Twitter and tried to say, "Oh, we would never disrespect women of color and talk about their skin tone." But I believe it because Lil Wayne has said things before about how black girls' pussies are purple, and he has said that this was a beautiful black woman, but she would look better red. He has said a lot of colorist things in his songs, saying things like, "I want a long haired, thick red bone." And actually, I was listening to his last album, his last studio album. I think it was in 2013. Maybe he had other albums after that. But the last album I was listening to was "I Am Not a Human Being," another installment of that whole series. And he says in the intro that he likes a long haired, thick red bone. So even recently, he has not changed. He is still the same type of person. Apparently, he said things like, "Well, my dark skinned daughter will be the last dark skinned girl I have because all my other bitches are going to be light skinned." So, first of all, even if all the other women you have children with are light skinned, you're still probably going to have a dark skinned daughter. It's not entirely unlikely for your daughter to come out your skin tone. So I just don't understand the logic of these men who think that just because they sleep with a lighter skinned woman, and a lighter skinned black woman at that, that they are going to have lighter skinned children. And I don't want to be the type of person to say, I hope you have a dark skinned daughter, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone, to be born to an abusive and colorist parent. But for Lil Wayne to say that, and he has a dark skinned daughter who is very beautiful, she is a gorgeous girl, and he spoils her. I can't say that he's not a good father to her, but for him to say all that stuff about dark skinned girls, or from what I've heard, and then to go back and give his daughter a rover or some shit like that, and buy her all these things and tell her that he loves her, but then she's listening to his songs and talking about how he wants women that look nothing like her and to make her feel inferior. That does not sit well with me. But it's whatever. But back to Future, I'm just over it. If a bitch wants a man to pay child support, then he has to pay child support because you're the parent, you're the responsibility. Child support is to make up for the fact that a child doesn't have two parents taking care of him or her or them. It is to make up for because honestly, if two people are living in a house, and okay, we live in a patriarchal, heteronormative society where most people are supposed to get married, a man and a woman. So one person is at least supposed to have a job, usually the man, but these days women also have jobs. So basically two people are supposed to be working in the household, and they have a child. So two paychecks are coming to the home, and that's supposed to take care of the family. However, if you are a single mother and you don't have a second paycheck coming in from another party, that's going to be more difficult taking care of your child. So child support is made to make up for the fact that you don't have a second adult taking care of your child. That's what it is. So I'm really annoyed by fathers joking about not paying child support or bragging about it. "I don't pay my child's child support." People are over here saying that Ciara is rich, she has a lot of money, so she doesn't need child support. But this is the funny thing. Months ago, or years ago, people were saying that Ciara was a flop. Ciara can't sell records. She's a fourth-rate Beyonce. She's not even on Rihanna's level. Just talking mad shit about her. And now, because she's affiliated with Future, and now she's a little bit more popular because I'm not gonna lie, Ciara did kind of fall off after the whole evolution era. She was hot in 2003, 2004 when she had goodies, and then she was good in Evolution where she had a song called Promise, and then after that she kind of just faded, and then she came back in 2013 with her Body Party single, and then her last album, it had I Bet, which I'm still mad at Ciara for that Brazilian hair comment. So I'm mad that Future stands and Future himself are making me defend a bitch that came for bitches that wear weave. Like, and bitch, you wear weaves too, so I don't even understand what that line was about. And I'm still upset about that whole I'm out line where she's like, oh, my man got a new girl and I'm gonna disrespect her too. And actually, Nicki Minaj said this, but she said in the song I'm Out with Ciara, and if you see that new bitch, she said something along the lines of popping the new bitch in the face, which that's not something you do. You don't pop the new girl or any girl because you mad at your man, and she shouldn't even be in proximity towards your ex or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, people are saying that Ciara should be able to afford to take care of her child, but it doesn't matter. Future is the child or the parent of his child. He has to take care of him. Parents have to take care of their children unless the other parent who has custody over them makes it so they have nothing to do with that child. But as far as I see, Ciara wants Future to pay child support, and for people to say that Ciara is rich and is the superstar. Honestly, I'm not trying to throw shade, but she's not on Beyonce's level. She's not Beyonce rich, and even still, Beyonce's married. She has a child, and two paychecks are coming into the home. So, like I said, child support is supposed to make up for the fact that a child doesn't have two parents supporting them or two parents in the household, because it's common sense. If two people are making money, then there will be more money to support the child. And a lot of people can't do it alone. So I really wish people would stop shaming women for demanding child support, because honestly, bitches don't be taking child support to buy fucking Michael Kors or Vera Bradley, okay? That money goes to their child. I don't understand where men gets this ideal that bitches are taking child support to buy fucking skirts and fucking expensive ass purses instead of diapers. This is from an Eazy-E song called Fuck My Baby Mama, which I ain't gonna lie, that shit banged during the time I was a stan, but it was a baby mama shaming song, so I wasn't really fucking with that, Well, I was fucking with that, but I don't fuck with that anymore. Well, maybe just a little, but just for the beat. But yeah, I fucking am tired of Future just whining and just whining and just talking about how he don't trust bitches, but he's the one that be shaming all these bitches. I'm sick of fucking niggas, and Future is pretty much, Future is one of those people that should just shut the fuck up, and he should stop, shaming his baby mama, because this is getting old. I am so tired of this. I'm really annoyed. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Tanashi. Tanashi recently said in an interview that she thinks 5 black girls should be winning instead of one, because a lot of people take to Twitter to ask her about her light skin privilege and to bring up colorism. Actually, Tanashi follows me. In fact, she followed me back in, I say, maybe 2013, but we're actually mutuals on Twitter, so she actually follows me. So I'm not sure if she catches some of my tweets, but I do know a lot of her fans are black girls, and they like her music, but sometimes she says and does things that is questionable, because Tanashi has said that she wanted to stand up for women and to inspire young girls, but one, she did a song with Iggy Azalea, who has done not so fair things to black women. I don't want to say that she's a racist, because apparently the racist and homophobic and transphobic tweets that she had made back in 2011 or 2010 were proven to be fake. So if that's true, then I don't want to be like, well, she's racist and homophobic when I didn't actually see her say those things, because the so-called tweets turned out to be fake. But Iggy Azalea has gaslighted black girls, in particular Azalea Banks, who I think Azalea Banks is probably the foulest person that I've ever seen in the public. But I feel that she's not someone for people to come for when it comes to calling out Iggy Azalea. She gaslighted Q-Tip when he tried to give her the history of hip-hop and cultural appropriation. Iggy has just been very insensitive towards black women and the history of hip-hop. And fans were wondering why Tanashi would record with a racist white woman. And Tanashi, as I said before, was pretty much like, well, I mean, I'm trying to have a song for all women, so I don't understand why you're coming for me. But eventually she did a song with Dej Loaf, which, okay, like she left Iggy Azalea's tour, and she ended up fucking with Dej Loaf, the female rapper, the black girl, instead of Iggy Azalea. So that's cool. In fact, Dej Loaf actually annoys the hell out of me, because at one time we did assume that she was queer. We thought that she was queer. But then she's like, I ain't fucking queer, bitches love me, but I don't fuck with them, I ain't gay. I'm like, oh, okay, girl, I understand, you ain't queer just because of the way you dress. But I feel like you one of those female you one of those female baits, you someone that will pretend that, or give off the impression that you queer because you want more queer female fans, but then you ain't really queer. So you probably a Katy Perry and a Nick Jonas. I don't know, but I don't really fuck with Dej Loaf aside from some of her good songs. But I'm not feeling her low key misogynistic comments towards queer women, acting like we all want the bitch. I mean, she's fine, but to basically say, oh, I ain't really gay, I'm like, okay, like, that's fine, but don't get mad at people, if they fucking like you, because, you did kind of give off the vibe that, you may be queer, or you may be someone who doesn't, fit into, gender categories, a part of the LGBTQIA. But okay, I understand. So you straight. But Tanashi did a song with Dej Loaf, but like I think I said this in the last video, Tanashi defended fucking R. Kelly. And I'm not gonna lie, at one time I did victim blame. I victim blamed Aaliyah, claiming that I was a fan. I said that how can we accuse R. Kelly of being this pedophile when Aaliyah consented. So I'm not innocent either. I think a lot of us have at one time victim blamed or not understood how terrible R. Kelly was, because he does make good music, but as a young 17-year-old girl, I didn't really understand how serious R. Kelly was when it came to his raping young black girls. But Tanashi is older. She's 20 fucking 2, I believe, or 3. She's sitting up here saying that it's sexist, you're attacking me, and I'm like, bitch, like, it's not sexist to call you out for defending a fucking pedophile, a guy who attacks little black girls in particular. He goes after little black girls. I don't care if they consented, quote unquote. They are young. They cannot consent. So for Tanashi to conflate this ideal that, well, R. Kelly was hurting when, I don't care how bad you have it, you don't take it out on young girls. You don't do that. So people were mad at her. Then she said something else about colorism. She's like, yeah, I mean, people assume that I have light skin privilege or that I have an advantage because I'm light skinned. But, I feel like you should be happy for any black girl to be winning. And I'm like, bitch, the whole reason why we bring up your light skin privilege is because we want more than one black girl to be winning. We don't just want some fucking light skinned bitch to be slaying the charts. We want someone who is dark skinned, someone who looks like Tiana Paris, someone who looks like Lupita Nyong'o or Anika Rose, or what's that girl's name who's about to be on Power? That one actress who's very pretty and dark skinned. You know, we want more girls that look like that. And as I said on my blog, it's not that we want light skinned girls to fucking disappear and to leave, but we want to see less of them. We do. I don't want to see all these light skinned girls because you see them all the time. You see them on Instagram, you see them on Twitter, you see them on Vine. You see how they are the standard of hot girls, and we fucking take that in. In order to be a fucking hot ass black girl, you gotta be light as fuck. You gotta fucking look racially ambiguous. You gotta look close to Kim Kardashian, who appropriates black culture, who is famous off of the fact that men pretty much utilizes black women's sexuality against black women and replace that onto whiter and lighter skinned women. That's why I don't fuck with Taz Angels, because it's a black man running it who calls his girls bad bitches, but they're not actually black women, except for maybe I think AB is the only woman who is of African descent. She looks to be like she is Afro-Dominican. So I feel like AB is probably the only actual woman of color who is black. I feel like she is the only black woman in Task Angels. Maybe there's another girl who is lighter skinned and IDs as black. But as far as I see, AB is the only Afro-Dominican. So whatever. And she's light as fuck. So that don't really count. But yeah, what they do is they will take the body of darker skinned women and place them onto lighter bodies, and they shame our skin tone. Well, I can't even say our, because I'm certainly not fucking dark skinned, but I am brown. I am a good medium brown. They will take the bodies and then put them on women who make profits off of our bodies. It's just like that. What time is it? Man, I wasn't trying to make a long video. Well, long story short, you see all these light-skinned women that look close to Tanashi, and for Tanashi to say that it doesn't matter, you know, we should be happy that black girls are winning. No, that's bullshit. And as far as we see, why do you ID as black now? All this time you were IDing as some Scandinavian mixed girls, and now you're fucking a black girl because we're backing you into a corner and talking about your privilege. Okay. You see, I'm sick of these black celebrities just, you know, talking out the side of their necks, because it's just really annoying. But that's all I have to say, y'all, because again, I'm not trying to make this video too long because it takes fucking hours to upload this shit. So, good day to all. Hopefully I can get this uploaded today on the fucking 5th. Oh, one last thing. It's my quote-unquote friend's birthday, the guy I talked to you in the last video, my Afro-Latino friend, who, you know, I'm going to call him Charlie fucking Wilson, because he reminds me of Charlie Wilson. He is celebrating his birthday today, but I'm going to be petty and not wish him a happy birthday.